Yeah, so that's a high burst, high damage agility hero that doesn't really mind playing against Nyx. It's quite good against Morph. You can juke all of his auto attacks. Should beat Ember in the laning phase, but it's one of those scenarios where if Ember gets a gank or an early kill, you can start dominating the Clinks by just playing more aggressive. I think it's going to be a skill-based matchup. Infamous a much better chance of winning this game than the previous one, but still definitely an uphill battle.
Who are the supports on the side of Infamous? Nyx Assassin and is it Axe or Brew?
I believe it'll be Axe. It could be Brew, actually. It's a good point. I'm not sure.
Who do you think is going to win game 2?
You know, I'm going to just go with Infamous, because I think that Navi's a bit ambitious thinking they can win the same draft twice. I don't like the Clinks nearly as much as the Alk either.
I agree with you. I think Clinks could get jumped on easily with that Axe, get Blade Mail, insta-kill himself, and with enough aggression, they'll be doing fine. However, I also think it's tricky for them to get rid of that egg, so I'm going to be going with Navi on this one. Do I go for Analyst Kyle or Mr. Slacks? Who would I side with? Like a sloth! Me! I'm going for that third game. Let's see if Infamous take this one. Me! What's going to happen in the second game? Only one way to find out. Owen and Fog, take it away. Come on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 in Na'Vi versus Infamous about to hit your screens, and we're going to see if Infamous can do it the second time round. Na'Vi, pretty similar draft to game 1 for the same heroes that we saw from the switch it up with the Clinks instead of the Alchemist this time. Infamous, a very different approach. Kyle, he liked it. Do you sort of agree this is a lot better looking for Infamous this time round?
Yep, I want to see who's playing the Brew. I hope it's Whisper. Yay! Okay, good. Whisper was dominant on that Brew yesterday, so... Definitely a big fan of him seeing that, playing that one, and they're going to be playing very unorthodox though on their support combo. I mean, you know, we've seen it more, of course, but Axe and Nyx, they pretty much have a. This is pretty much a 5 melee draft almost on the side of Infamous. I know, yeah, more playing ranged hero, but you're short range, right? Yeah, and that sort of draft can be punished by a Supernova, a Chrono, and an Overgrowth. Yep, exactly. That's my biggest concern is once push comes to shove inside of those like team fights, but they do have better. They covered their bases this time, though, right? Like, the Nyx pick I liked because they protected for that Ember Spirit last pick. You could see Na'Vi, they were kind of like, huh, what do we want to pick? Because all these int heroes just are not really the great option anymore. But Na'Vi, they've got their super comfort. They love their Tree Phoenix. They love Tree Phoenix and Void so much on this team. They pick it pretty much. If it's there, they'll probably pick it.
I mean, it looked very good last game. Yep. It looked very good last game.
It's cool, like Seneko, he seems to have like, I know they have Mag now as their coach, but it seems like he has these like really set ideas on how he does want to approach games, where he's just like, okay, this is like what we're going to start out with, and then we're going to build the draft around it. So we saw them do this Beastmaster Dazzle at main cast, we saw them do the Undying Dark Willow kind of combo thing early on in this tournament, and now they're just doing the Tree Phoenix here consistently versus that Axe.
Oh, we got Seneko. Hey, he wants that bounty, he'll grab it. We chase down a little bit.
There's a Boots Nyx on the chase too. Seneko.
Oh, he's going to die.
He's probably dead here.
He can't get out. He's got a TP, but no chance with that stun available from Schofield. We'll just try and live as long as possible.
He's juking. He's juking. Oh, he's going to get hit this time. Schofield's not even going to stun him. He's saving it.
He doesn't need to.
Who's he going to give the last hit to?
Or was he giving it to
himself?
Oh, okay. It looked like he was sort of waiting there, allowing moves to get close, but yeah, Schofield was like, screw this, is taking too long.
How many tangos did they use there? I think I saw Axe use 2 to cut trees, at least. So yeah, he used 2, and Nyx didn't have any tangos. But they get themselves that kill. Mid matchup, I think like Kyle said, skill favored matchup. Clinks probably comes out ahead because you have that really low armor on the Ember, but there's no way for you to break the Flame Guard in the laning phase.
Now we'll see how well Magical can sort of zone. But Peter out of the first few waves.
And see how this top lane does. We saw Tomato get pushed back really hard from this combo last time, and this time he doesn't even have a ranged hero to support him to push them away. Axe, not really the greatest at pushing this off. And again, Na'Vi, they blocked the poke camp, so they actually have to play this lane straight up versus a Centaur and Tree. These two heroes have super high base damage, 68 on Centaur, 91 on Tree Protector.
And yeah, this is sort of as well the support acts in the safe lane, so you're not going to see him sort of making the creep cuts.
Yeah.
As we've seen, you know, how Axes normally do get that crazy amount of early game boost in farm and XP. It's going to be a little tougher.
Bottom again, it's just, I mean, like we said, Infamous is dropped as like all melee heroes, so bottom as well, double melee. Phoenix going to be pretty happy about that one. They can mess with Crystallize's last hits though, with like some stuns and some Drunken Hazes constantly being thrown on him in lane. So you will see the Void's last hits impacted in that one.
Mid lane, not too, pretty close at the moment between the two.
Yep.
Which, you know, sort of you throw in a rotation, which could come out from heroes such as the Nyx Assassin or Axe diving people mid.
I definitely think they could try to make some kind of move like that, especially with the Nyx Assassin in particular. Like they get a stun, they're going to follow up with the chains, and the Flame Guard, it will not get burned. So the damage that comes through from that ability is very, very high in the early stages. Constant Drunken Haze on Crystallize.
And Blizzy does have the creep wave now by his tower, so should be able to get a good amount of farm. Despite sort of the Axe's best efforts to harass him back with the Battle Hunger spam.
Tomato's getting good last hits too. And
Whoa. Tomato? He gets the kill. Blizzy must have been hanging around on too low HP as Tomato just zips in and takes him.
That's pretty huge for them in the top lane.
That shouldn't happen.
Low armor Centaur, but just overstepping his bounds a bit too much. Moose.
Oh, I mean, talk about overstepping. Moves. Okay. The crazy lane up top. Crazy things happening. Both sides throwing away kills mid lane. Magical trying to go head to head with Pepita. The chains aren't going to be there.
Oh, he's going to be okay. Oh, if those chains hit, he gets the kill. Just being a little bit impatient on it, being too close to that creep, but Schofield, he's coming. Schofield.
Oh, one more.
There's a fairy fire.
Hit it.
There's a fairy fire.
Oh. Nearly brilliant.
Almost
brilliant there for Schofield, but not quite enough damage.
Nice. It's good that he clicked on him though, right? I'm pretty sure Schofield
right.
saw the fairy fire.
He didn't commit because he knew you're right.
Yeah, he knew he was going to get turned on.
He checked the inventory. Smart.
He would have died if he committed forward for that. And Tomato's getting free farm up here after getting that kill top. I mean, Moo's going for that a little bit of change, right? He went for the call at level 2 rather than having the spin, and it must have caught him off guard in the top lane. Now he has the third point. He has that point in his spin. Ooh, stun. High damage onto Moose.
And they should be able to burst Chu as they go in with the waveform. Stick charges there, but Chu will still fall. Tomato having a much nicer lane from this time round. This game is getting locked into Schofield. Stun won't connect. Quick juke from the Centaur keeps him out of line of it.
It's going to get easier for Schofield to land those stuns versus Centaur in particular. When he gets like the return or and there's a Carapace, he can do that Carapace into stun play easily. As bounty runes are out, it will be Navi getting 3, it looks like. Yeah.
Nice. Tomato did have the mana to stick and dive for that, but wanted to play it safe. Didn't quite know where the tree was, so could get rooted under the tower. But still, this is going to be time where Blizzy's going to have to spend a moment away from that top lane. And more space for Tomato.
Yeah, as of now in this game, he's not on recovery from the beginning of the game. He's having a great time. Mid matchup, magical, very tanky. They're not quite level 6 on the Ember Spirit either. When Pepita has 6, they can set up those kills as well. It'll get easier for Schofield, like we were saying. There's lots of different ways for them to give that Nyx opportunities to go.
I mean, we'll see. So yeah, once they've got the 6 on Crystallize.
Oh, Pepita.
They start to do.
Very thankful he gets a rune. He's spending a lot of time just running out of the lane. He still has decent last hits, but look at that experience. He's level 5.5, and I believe this Clinkz is getting close to 7.
Oh.
He's prioritizing like getting those runes in his bottle, but it's hurting him a bit on that experience. Just lucky that he's able to get at least a haste, one of the best runes in the early game on an Ember.
I mean, at the least, he knows that there isn't going to be any rotations with anyone that can just run in and stun him, you know. So he shouldn't be worried about dying before he gets the remnants online. There's no sort of catch
All three cores. Farming well. Ooh, gets the catapult deny. Whisper has 11 denies. You have to imagine that a lot of those are those range creeps, as he's, you can Drunken Haze and you can almost guarantee get those range creep denies. So he's very high level on this brew. He's gonna hit level 6 before Void. At this pace.
That's Papilla. We'll just pop the haste rune and not looking to do too much. Same time at the bottom.
Trying to punish him before he's 6.
Looking for those bashes. They've got him. Top lane. Quick stun onto the 2 of the moves and Schofield as he walks off, but 2 for 3.
Peter's still only level 5.
Yeah, he's getting totally zoned out from the creeps. Magical pretty much able to deny everything. Make sure he doesn't get that last bit of experience. Oh, he messed that deny it though. So one more and Pepito will finally hit the 6.
Feels much better though for Infamous this game, right? It's not like this looming alchemist who's absolutely free farming. They're getting solid displays on their lanes.
No Schofield. Doesn't want to go for that with the stun.
Whisper is 6.
Would rather find the Void. Now we'll go for the stun. But no. Oh, that clap as well through the trees. That must have been just on the edge of the damage. But he gets it. Takes Seneko out the game. So Infamous, yeah, looking a million times better in this early game than they did game 1. A little bit lost, a little bit all over the place in that first match, but this time round they're playing the matchups really nicely. Tomatoes, as we say, already at the top of the net worth on his Morphling, as he's been given that lane where he can succeed.
And they've got easier ways to start the fight in this game. It's not like they require a Blink Dagger like the last game where it's like, alright, we can't really make moves until Axe has Blink. This game they have a Brewmaster, they have a Nyx Assassin who's going to have Vendetta at one point. So these heroes, yeah, you want to Blink early on the Brew, you can just use your ult and run in.
Moves. Gets the cool onto Blizzy, not quite enough damage to kill him off though. Backups there from Chu, throws down Leech Seed.
Tomato's committing forward though. He's not gonna make it though.
Yeah, Blizzy reading the movement as well, smartly not going up sort of the ramp there, otherwise he could have been in range for Tomato to close the gap. Head straight over towards the mid, so no chance of being cut off by the 2 of Infamous.
Looks like Moose wanted Pepito to make the move over there, because they had vision of him constantly moving there. But Pepito wanted to prioritize taking the lane. As now, since there's 6 on this 7 even on this brew, they want to try to make an invasion play, punish this Clinks, but Clinks, he's looking to make a move of his own. Seneko uses the dive aggressively, gets punished immediately.
Infamous. Really picking it up across the map. They do lose the Nyx Assassin to Magical, returning to the mid. Of course, while this all goes on, Crystallize is starting to get more open space on the bottom lane. This is Tread Tequila, once again working for the Mask of Madness. We'll see how things go around the 10-minute rune spawn, see who's set up to grab the most.
And for those tomes to come into play and those ultis that we're talking about, the Vendetta in particular, for Infamous.
That's Magical making the move to invade the upper room, but can't quite get there in time.
One stun, and he can definitely burst Pepito in the strafe. Oh, that's incredibly close.
Well, that was. If that changed, I mean, he was always going to have it, but yeah, if he let one more hit sort of fly through and follow him through the remnant, he could have died. But as it is, Pepito able to jump back to safety.
Goes for the treads, knows he's going to be early battling. Morphling wants to farm more, even though Tomato's having a great start. That's just the nature of the hero. You want to get that initial first item before you try fighting, be it Dragonlance, Morbid Mask, or... And Blizzy's been slowed down a lot. Still only level 5 on Centaur, getting bullied out of the lane, dying once. So we've got this Vendetta stalking the Clinks' movements. He's got the dust as well as the sentry too.
Dire are scanning.
They know he's here. They pop the dust.
Schofield. He's looking for the setup. He's playing around with the stun chains. Won't connect though. They get the 2 creeps instead, so there's not the catch they need. Crystallize. Jumps forward, but does not commit the Chrono before the Primal Split comes out.
They're killing the Fire Panda though. The damage from Whisper is going to be totally limited. And it's a Brew Split that kind of gets...
Alright, okay.
It gets wasted. Crystallize holding the Chrono and baits out a split.
It sort of works out in that sense. They may have just been able to straight up kill him if he did Chrono directly. But at the least, yeah, it doesn't matter that they were a little late. There's now no threat of the primal split for a good amount of time.
Killing that brew is pretty hard. He's what, 1500 HP? He's so tanky. He goes for the soul ring build almost every time. And
oh no. Oh, crystallize.
Time for no one.
Always a tricky one to get that Ember Spirit. If you do it when he sees you, he's always going to remnant. As long as he's got a remnant out, he's going to escape every time during that chrono cast animation.
Schofield will drop. Crystallize gets the last hit. Whisper gets himself a kill though. Now Tomato's looking to get involved as well. Stampede will protect you. Look at this Morphling's farm though, Tomato.
He's huge.
Yeah.
He is having a phenomenal start to this game. 2 kills. And now in position to push the enemy safe lane tier 1 tower.
He's going to be a little bit squishier and even closer range because he's doing he's not going for the Dragonlance build, but I think going for the Rush Manta in this game is also very appropriate. He's versus Treant, he's versus Phoenix. He needs some type of way to be able to remove those Fire Spirits, remove Spirit Vessels, be it when it comes. And look at this, pressuring that tower super early on. Good move by Infamous.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Let's see what they can do mid. There's a wraparound coming in. They can get a chains or a call to start things off. They do use both at the same time. So it doesn't mean Blizzy still gets a chance. So who stomp doesn't matter. A clap and a crit comes through from Whisper. As Infamous just making moves up and down the map. Na'Vi, they'll find the space for Magical and Crystallize to team up top and take a tower. But this game, you know, you sort of turn up to a second game in a row with the same draft. Your opponents are going to have a different answer, and Infamous have this game, and it's certainly working out a hell of a lot stronger. As we can certainly, you know, we already know that this is going to be a game where we're going to feel much more impact from Pepita on the Ember compared to the Brood in game 1.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And Tomato's actually going to be able to be involved as this hero. Whisper, he's going to have good timing on that Blink Dagger too. It's just about the team fights. His rating just gets killed.
Say goodbye to the Mask of Madness then for a few minutes. No Mask of Madness on Crystallize. It's going to be frustrating. That extra bit of attack speed certainly needed to find these early chrono kills. That's mid lane.
Chains on Blizzy.
They're setting up. They're going with the chains. Blizzy tries for the Hooston. They do get the Supernova, and there's the combo. The Supernova and Chronosphere down behind the tower means that both Ember and Brew are dead. As just as things were looking to run really smoothly this game for Infamous, they go and dive and lose both cores behind that tower, not thinking about that potential combo that was going to come in.
So we were saying, right, you have to watch out for the team fight of Navis. Sure, you've got your own Brew in the team fight, but...
Lane. Tomato was trying to get Seneko, doesn't quite manage to get him. Schofield does fall. There's not just the 2 cores, but a 3rd kill for Na'Vi as they strike back hard.
Navis has to play a little bit of a slower paced game, at least with 4 of their heroes. The Clinks can run around and constantly be hunting, but besides that, they're pretty cooldown reliant on their other heroes. It's Whisper. Giving him the right clicks.
Should be able to find Chew, I think. Yeah, especially with the change from Pepita coming in. And Tomato, he's there for the KS. Gets himself that extra bit of gold, keeps him at the top. Whisper, 1800 gold towards the Blink Dagger, so nearly done on the Brewmaster. Situation, as we can see, of course, for the support axe, it's going to take a bit longer.
He wants to try to find Seneko here. Schofield might be able to
just a Vendetta hits enough. That's enough damage. Easy kill for Schofield.
You see what Moose is placing these deep wards? I think these are courier sniping wards for an axe. If you're a 5-position axe, right, if you just dunk some couriers in the early game,
why not?
You can keep slowing down that pace. And Navi's pace, like I said, it's slow. They are pretty cooldown reliant until they have that center. They do.
He sets up the 2-man hoofstone. That's enough time for the damage to come out from Magical to take down Pepita. That one stun was all that was needed. I mean, that was him only with a Blade of Alacrity and a Blightstone as well. Imagine once he has the Diffusal,
he's got
this Ember. This Ember's just going to melt if he gets caught out by a stun.
Yep. And he can get set up. The thing is, too, that's scary about the Diffusal Blade is, and as an Ember, if you don't have a defensive remnant down, you're getting solo killed by Clank.
Oh, yeah, you can't throw one out during.
Yep.
It's far too slow.
Pepita gonna have to be careful now that there is a Blink Dagger on Navi's side on that Centaur.
They can kill that Ember so easy, as we just saw.
Now they can play a little bit more fast-paced than waiting and relying on all those cooldowns.
That's Pepita. Not opting for sort of an early defensive item like the Yules, just want to get that straight up Maelstrom for the fights.
Yep.
Which, you know, as long as they're not the ones being jumped on, will be perfect for. Getting that extra bit of damage out. Sort of the time where Tomato's still building up his own armory.
They've got good vision, like we were mentioning. Infamous is prepared. They're looking to try to hunt Crystallize here. There is backup, though, behind him.
And Crystallize has got a Chrono.
Too scary to make deep dives forward here. And Pepito, as we see, he is putting down that defensive remnant every single time that we've seen so far. Has to be extremely careful. It's Chu on the prowl.
I mean, scope build. No chance here. The diffusal blade is just too much damage. He can just wait out the spike carapace, come back in with the rest of the remaining output.
It's pretty, actually looking at it, it's a really good thing that he does have the Soul Ring as well in the Brew, right? Because if the diffusal blades do come in, he can just get his mana burned.
Oh, yeah,
and then he might not be able to use the spell off in some of these fights because of how fast Clinks does attack with it.
Absolutely. I do, you know, there was sort of a period where we saw a lot of variation in how Clinks were built at the start, but I think, you know, diffusal blade in the majority of situations is just such a value item on this hero early on. Just because of how high your attack speed is, you know, you can really make the most out of that early game mana burn. You just are hitting them so many times.
Yep, early game mana burn, it's one of the higher damage items as well for Agi heroes. Gives you solo kill potential.
Oh, it's really nice.
Yep.
And something that maybe sort of a lot of old school players aren't used to buying, because, you know, in your mind, there was such, many years of where you would never build diffusal and stack orbs. But nowadays, it's all good.
Yep, nowadays it's all good. It's not like you have 8 charges diffusal anymore either.
Oh, yeah.
To be.
Oh,
How long ago was that?
That was last year, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Actually, probably longer than last year. Maybe like 2 years.
Oh, they get the damage enough. One stun, they can still really Whisper.
It's you know, the Who Stomp stun is you know, one of the... Well, how long is the Who Stomp stun? It's a pretty damn long stun, isn't it? Yeah, 2.75 seconds.
And the talent, when you get it, I mean, that's way later, but the talent at 25 is absurd. It's a 4.25 second AoE stun.
I mean, that, you know, this is one of just the most reliable, solid stuns in the game.
It became
for what it does, yeah.
When all the other stuns started getting nerfed, his became better and better. Like, I know, like, Suns fan, you know, Shannon was always like, Centaur sucks because of the animation, but as we see all these other get nerfed, his became better and better because it's reliable.
Because that is true. You know, the animation, it isn't great. You know, there's a bit of delay. You can react to it if you've got a remnant out or such, if you're quick. But I mean, you do have to be very quick.
You do.
Know, still dodging a blink Who Stomp is, you know, that's a top tier play.
Tomato's got to be careful not to be too low down morphed versus this Chronosphere. We see the Shadow Blade is picked up by Crystallize. He's hunting.
Oh, he is. And he may just find him. He's got a bit of strength.
Okay, he morphed up. Whew. I didn't see him actually do it.
I mean, he had 1400. I feel like if you're feeling lucky with the RNG, you could probably still attempt that with the Mask of Madness Shadow Blade.
That's because you're crazy.
Yeah. Bottom, they lose the Centaur. I mean, 1400.
He's got so much armor, Owen.
You try for it.
You try for the bash RNG.
Yeah, you get like 5 bashes and you're good.
If he does get a lot of bashes, that is, I mean, sure. Yeah. Still a risky play. Doesn't want to waste his chrono and not get the kill. 10 to 10. Still a very, very close game.
Oh, where's your mana, mate?
He's got Soul Ring.
Where's your mana, bro?
He can't use it though, because he'll die. This diffusal doing work.
I mean, that is true. We didn't. Yeah, Soul Ring is great against the diffusal, but because of how fast he's attacking, if you're already low health, you can't.
You might have to like Soul Ring and hope that you get it in between the attacks in midair.
I mean, I don't know.
But it's very hopeful.
Has he got a wand as well? The brew.
He had one last time.
Okay, because the wand, you know, that's the way you get it. That's the way you get the ult off. But other than that, yeah, it's not going to be easy. He's only got a stick in the
Only stick. I confuse even the names of them because I never upgrade my stick.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess on the heroes you play, don't really want to upgrade a stick anyway.
Now they've got the Spirit Vessel finished, so I think Morphling has Manta already. He does have the Manta, so he doesn't have to worry that much about it, but there's a lot of things he has to worry about removing. Fire Spirits, Overgrowth. There's Na'Vi. They've got every ult available, so they can take this fight if Infamous does choose to come toward them, and Infamous does not even know.
They're not going to head over.
Nope.
So a free Roche and Aegis.
How's Moose's Blink Dagger doing on Axe? He's getting close.
He's very close.
So they're going to have more ways to actually initiate the fight, because the Nyx can Vendetta in the back, Brew can try to get the split, but it's seeming to be a bit difficult for Whisper in this game, as the Clinks is a definite problem.
It will be an axe with Blink and no Vanguard, though, of course, being the support, so he could still just jump in and get melted, but sometimes just that little quick disable is enough for the rest of the team to do the work.
Yeah, it's his job to just... His job to kind of die, but just get the grab on multiple heroes for his team to follow up.
There's Magical leading the way. Out hunting, they've got the tower denied, so Nako's still able to keep that wave pushed in up top against the tier 2. Schofield's heading up to scout out what's going on a bit. Back towards the mid, Magical will be fine. They used the Stampede to get him out. Did try and make a go on to Moose. Moose doesn't fall top lane. Stuns there from Schofield. In position to put the TP to an end from Seneko. Spike Carapace as well, holding him back post dive. They're trying to chase. They do have Brew coming across as well.
They should get Seneko here.
Yeah, he'll just do his best to make them work for it, but they've already found him. Stun and a clap. Seneko is gone. Mid lane.
Oh, he didn't get the shift. Eddie even was Spirit Vesseled anyway. Probably would get dropped.
Oh, and in fact, Magical. He's going to find more moves. He's gone. Na'Vi may have lost Seneko, but Infamous's attention was punished elsewhere. Mid lane they make a play. Na'Vi getting that big kill onto Tomato. Still holding onto the top spot this game in farm. And Crystallize actually just jumping in for more. They've got the Who Stump onto Pepita. Crystallize knows that he's a hard target. He's likely got a Remnant. And they will not try and push for any more Na'Vi. They'll be happy with that Morphling kill and content in just chilling with Crystallize, making sure he's got the BKB before he goes again, which he's just 400 gold away from that.
So the smart thing about always pushing out your side lanes with your support heroes is you force movement. And when you force movement, you're going to find pickoffs, just the way that Na'Vi did right now. Infamous, they're not really able to push out the lanes in the same fashion as Na'Vi because they're a bit afraid, right? Every single time they do try to set up for pushing out those side lanes, it's very likely they'll die. The only ones who really can push out in an easier manner is the Ember and the Morphling, but they have to watch out for a Crystallized Shadowblade. Because Schofield and the Axe, they're both just been hunting. These heroes don't really push out lanes nearly as well as a Phoenix does. Seneko immediately goes bottom, starts pushing out that way for his team. And Infamous, they're trying to find some pickoff, but it is an Aegis on Void. Oh, they don't even get him. They don't do the stun, Schofield.
They don't even get the Aegis. And now Crystallize, he's charging straight back in at them. The chains will hold him out. Primal Split being used as well, but again, he can just time walk. This is a lot of effort and focus from Infamous that amounts to absolutely nothing at all.
Uh-oh, and they're gonna try to chase for this here, Chu. There's no sentry wards on him.
And Crystallize, he is watching the Brew, but the Brew just get the blink out time. Mid lane, Schofield, Spike Carapace, and a stun. Make sure the Magical can't chase and commit for the kill onto the Nyx Assassin. Pepita continue to tickle around with Crystallize. Stop him from being able to join the rest of the team and Na'Vi in that chase for the Nyx Assassin. I mean, and Infamous, sure, they don't lose any lives there, but you're committing with the split. You're not getting the Aegis, and that was certainly a situation where, yeah, you're at least killing that man once. As top, Schofield will continue to be chased by Magical, and will die. Another kill for the Clinks as Magical sits 7 kills, 0 deaths, 0 assists as well this game. And he's been having a very clean-cut performance on the Clinks.
Not dying once is super important. The Clinks is a very momentum-based hero, and he was in a position where the Ember could have maybe killed him, right? With the slight and the chains missing a couple times, they missed a few setups that could have been crucial for them to slow down this Clinks. But now Clinks has BKB. He is so tanky. He's got so many ways to avoid the little disable that Infamous really does have.
Oh yeah, he BKBs and locks on a target, he'll get the kill. Tomato's the hardest one if he's able to shift.
Yep.
But that's when you're sort of looking at the rest of your team to come into play. Overgrowth, Kronos, Hoof Stomps, catching out Tomato. And they can really go for the opportunity.
Yep, they got a second BKB now too.
Oh.
See?
Jump from moves. Does get the call onto the click. Crystallize. Oh! He's back Tomato, and Tomato's not shifting! He's not shifting! He gets the Manta off though! Oh, Tomato will survive!
Oh, that's so close.
Oh, he nearly died there, Pepita. He's got a Remnant out. So this time it's Na'Vi's turn for the ults to not really set up anything at all as they do not get those kills. And now, wow, they want to fight into this. The egg is in a pretty perfect position though. They can't take it down. Tomato's got to back off. They've lost Moose. The Supernova Stone connects onto Tomato. They're focusing down this Morphling as he's getting bashed up, held in place as they've lost Tomato, dead for 50 seconds. Whisper's trying to fight back with the Primal Split, but they've got their eyes on the Maul as Na'Vi surrounds the Primal Split, but he still gets the blink off. Crystallize looking for the chase down. They have the vision. Jump in from Blizzy with a double edge, and Na'Vi will claim both cores. Whisper and Tomato dead.
Again, there's too much they have to worry about in some of these fights.
Team fights. So all of these, it doesn't matter if they're not up at the same time, because one well-placed Supernova, as we saw, can just throw everything into disarray for Infamous.
Yep. And it's like the Morphling has the Manta style, so he moves the root, but then he gets Spirit Vesseled immediately afterwards, and even if he gets Attribute Shift off, he gets killed so easily by the side of Na'Vi with all their raw damage. Nice tier 3.
Dire's middle tower is under
And maybe more if Na'Vi want to stick around now. They play it safe.
has fallen.
Gonna look for all the shrines, just keep that net worth advantage, work on the next items. New level 15 on Seneko, and a big jump up in net worth and experience after that last fight.
Schofield on the prowl again. He's got a gem.
Did you find the trio? Oh, good chew on the way out.
They're trying to get some map control back. That's why they have this gem on the Nyx. Just has to, if this Nyx dies with this gem, it could cause enormous problems for Infamous. Just unable to really move out on the map, because then you're always at risk of getting stalked by this tree and risk of getting stalked by Crystallize with that Shadow Blade, or even the Clinks. There's so many different ways that Na'Vi has to be sneaking around looking for pickoffs, and I do see the Ember Spirit. He's queued up his Yule Scepter. I actually think it's pretty important now that I'm realizing a couple times versus the Void. Time dilation ruins Ember. You actually just can't do much inside of the fights. Like you use your chains and your sleight once, and then he just time dilates you, and you're standing still. Like wow, my hero is not the same as it usually is.
Yeah, he's got to get that Yules done. Then he's got a chance against it.
Yeah. It's like usually versus these like trees and Phoenix, you want BKBs and Mantas, but as an Ember, usually not the best option. But Tomato, he is going to be closing in on that BKB relatively soon on top of that Manta.
I mean, Tomato has to be, if Blizzy gets a Who Stomp, they have the damage.
I mean, Navi's absolutely ready to fight.
If they get a Who Stomp, he may just die. He started to shift. It might actually matter. Look at this damage that comes out. At the same time, a Chrono will be popped to the back lines, buying time for the Supernova to go up. Getting the stun onto the Axe. Pepita tries to Remnant away, but he's moving too slow. Another Remnant comes out. It will be enough for the Arcane Rune to keep him safe. They're focusing the Phoenix with the Primal Split. Seneko still alive for now. Can he get himself back to safety? He can't. They'll lose the Phoenix. As Infamous do get the trade, blink out from Whisper's successful, but Na'Vi, they're hot on his heels as they chase into the pit with both Magical and Crystallized. Whisper trying for the juice. Tomato, he's actually come back in. He waveformed into this. The Who Stomp's there. He's trying to shift into Strike. Tomato looking to punch back, but he's now out of mana, and Tomato just threw away his life. Zipping into the pit like that, entirely unnecessary from Tomato, but he commits and gives up his life.
He thought they could get some kills out of that from them chasing Whisper. I mean, Whisper survives with some very cute footwork, but yeah, losing their Morphling down, we're seeing over and over again. He just gets Spirit Vesseled, and then that high burst damage from the Clinks, it's too much. And the team fight, Na'Vi just having so much overwhelming fight, time and time again.
And they found another Schofield. Just get the stun onto the Clinks, and actually might save him. Nice read there, realizing the Clinks would be in position on the high ground, throwing the Impale up that way. That way. Okay, keeps them safe.
And this game for Whisper, it's not a game where he has the option of being able to try to go for like the Radiance that he did when he crushed yesterday. He's going for the Crimson, so they have high physical damage. He's going to be able to block like that, but we see them with the Brew Split goes, and they just kind of ignore it. They're focusing the Fire Spirit, they kill it very quickly, and then there's no damage coming out on the side of Infamous because they just get so controlled. 9k gold lead. Na'Vi finishing off top shrine. And they're looking to fight. They only don't have Chrono up and immediately jump on Pepita.
Oh, they get the call though. The call is there. Supernova will be popped down, so ready. Infamous on the retreat. Crystallize is going to look for the chase onto Moose. Does catch him with the bash. Moose will die.
Looking ever so difficult for Infamous. They still have this farmed Morphling, but he just has such a hard game for himself. him versus the world. Chris Magical is almost approaching his next big item too. Then they won't even have to worry about, I mean, Drunken Haze, which wasn't really an issue, but Drunken Brawler. Such high damage going to be coming out from this Clinks at such an early time.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Yeah, Whisper's just going full defensively, trying to protect his team.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
Na'Vi. Awaiting patiently, claiming that map control, waiting for that Roche to spawn.
There's no real rush for Na'Vi now with this lead that they have.
Nope, they've got even a Midas on Sineko. We saw that he purchased way earlier, and they're just putting down these wards to prepare. Put the wards so they can start to get ready to see if Infamous does want to contest for that Roche. Did they do that? Is that the high ground ward on right there? Did they cut the tree? Yeah, so they cut the tree, and this is a ward that very rarely gets countered, and it gives you really good information if someone's trying to go in to contest the Roche on. We see that one a lot more often now, but it is a very clever spot.
They do now have that sort of more solid answer for the Spirit Vessel Tomato. I'm sure he's got the Manta before, but now he's got both that and the BKB.
Yep.
So many ways to make sure that he is sort of, you know, isn't unable to play his hero in these fights.
Just has to make sure, don't use the BKB before Overgrowth. Most important thing, have to just Manta the Overgrowth and then be sure to save BKB for those vessels, for the Phoenix Spirits. And they're all kind of playing around him. They're just making sure it's all on, it's so much on Tomato now, because they know Pepita's been shut down a lot, so they're sitting behind him, trying to make sure they can set up.
There's a lot of money on Magical as well.
Yeah, he had the MKB ready, but is he changing it?
I mean, he's holding on to about 5.5k gold.
No, I don't think he does have the Hex also queued up. That was the other one that's the usual.
Which way is he going to go?
On the Clink.
Which way would be better to go? The Hex. He goes the Hex way. I like that. So he doesn't
consistent control. And
he doesn't need more damage, and with a Hex he can get like a kill like this. Surely Hex and a defuse when this guy's dead.
If he sees him, Pepita's playing it safe. Found him.
There you go. Wouldn't have happened with an MKB, but with a Hex and defusal, it certainly does. I mean, this is so terrifying for anyone that goes out. I mean, even with what the Manta and the BKB, but there's no Lincoln sort of thrown into there. So this Hex pickup from Magical is just going to be deadly against anyone on Infamous.
Moo's jumping forward to try to set up, but he's just going to pay with his... That was... What's your chat, Will? That was questionable at best, right?
Questionable at the best.
Yeah.
There's now Na'Vi. 2 kills and
40 seconds now.
Ready to push. They've got the full ults online, the full combo.
They want to get the instant jump too. They even smoke to try to emphasize. Schofield will cut the creep, but there's a range creep. The hero range creep. They're going to try keeping it alive. They glyph as well. Keep the range creep alive.
There we go. It'll be alive long enough to at least get this mid melee racks.
Yeah, the creeps came back in.
That's all they needed. And then they'll stick around for more 10 seconds without the Axe's initiation. As Infamous, they're in a tough spot. This all-important game for them could be the end of their road here at the Minor as Na'Vi.
Na'Vi's playing extremely disciplined. I've been very impressed with them at this tournament. Like, their coordination's been on point. Their drafts, for the most part, have been pretty damn solid. Yeah, they've come in with game plans every single time that I've seen them playing here before the matches start. There's a Roche. Will look to be secured. Infamous wants to try to contest this. Uh-oh, the stun connects. Whisper.
Hey, Whisper. He can't get into the pit because of that. He's held outside. They do try and jump in, but the Hex is there straight away onto Pepita. He tried to go for the big play. Crystallized Chronos. Nobody apart from his own teammate. See if that matters. It actually does get Sineko killed. Because he was in the Chrono, he could have popped the egg. Na'Vi, they've lost 2. Crystallized and Magical still looking to fight strong. Looking towards Tomato. Juking it out. Turning around towards Crystallized. He gets Crystallized as well. Chu is trapped in the pit. Chu's going to die too.
Tomato?
It's an ultra kill. They're going to be able to kill this Magical as well. They've taken the Aegis. They're setting up to kill him again. Give that man the rampage. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Well, I don't know how much Crystallizer's going to be sweating right now, but I can guarantee we're going to get a few buckets out of there. Him chronoing the Phoenix, meaning the Seneko could not supernova or offer anything to really disrupt that flow of the fight, meant that Infamous, they got away with a free team fight, a free team wipe, and a free rampage for Tomato. One of the most painful, potentially game-losing chronos we've seen in a while.
Absolutely.
Oh no.
He has a full Scotty now.
Oh, but I mean, to be fair, if I was crystallized, that's on the Phoenix for being in the wrong place. I'm blaming the Phoenix.
Get out of here, Owen.
As a void player, don't stand in my chronos, mate.
Oh my God,
no.
let's see it again.
Oh.
Pepita distracts him, dies immediately. Crystallized
It was trying to get. I mean, he nearly got free. Look at this. But he wasn't quite close enough.
Oh.
And then Seneko. Just getting focused, you know, Tomato zips down. Smart move from Tomato, knows that if he gets down there, he's going to have the time to kill off the Phoenix. And sort of with the Phoenix going, you know, it may just be a support Phoenix, but the Supernova makes all the difference against these BKBs. There's no Supernova to offer, and then Na'Vi, you can sort of, you can feel it. As soon as that Whiff Chrono comes out, they just lose all morale and sort of all sense of focus in that team fight. They fall apart.
Yeah. He even used the BKB and then got rooted, but I think Whisper dispelled it with the Spirit Storm Parana. But Seneko
And Whisper.
he should be okay. It's a tanky Phoenix.
I mean, Whisper's going for it. Is he alright?
Is he okay?
I don't think he is. Whisper.
Wow, Whisper.
What the hell? And he's
And
out.
He's gonna die.
He's gonna die.
But he got Seneko.
I mean, that's no Phoenix for 90 seconds, so it's unlikely that Na'Vi are going to look to push without Seneko.
I can't believe he actually
Yep.
killed him there. That was damn impressive.
Oh my goodness, Infamous could just be back in the game.
It's a level 22 Brewmaster. I didn't even realize how high level he got after that last fight. I mean, everyone just got catapulted forward from getting a rampage. Look at the drop.
Oh. Oh no. Bottom Blizzy. Fun moves. Crystallizing as well. As moves. Try his best juke around the trees. Will not get out there. Crystallize closed the gap with the time warp. I mean, Na'Vi, of course, in the longer scheme, the grand scheme of things, they are still in the better position as a team. Tomato is an absolute threat, though. Mm-hmm. And they do, you know, if they don't mess up the combos, mess up the chrono, they'll be fine in a team fight.
They should be fine, yeah. He still is. He's a lot tankier now, though, with that right P that he gets. And he has a cool comp, like we've seen it time and time again. Turns into clicks, gets the strafe, so his damage is super high on Morphling. Young Tomato.
He's carried his team before as a morph. He could certainly do it again.
Mm-hmm.
He could certainly do it.
Radiant
What's his score actually on this game? I mean, are those 5
What's
kills?
KDA?
Yeah, it's KDA in this one.
Let's check it out. What we got in the morph?
8-3-0.
This is not really, not a crazy KDA. I mean,
pretty good for like the pressure that they were under.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's pretty. You know, he's done his job. He's been farming. He's only been involved in 8 kills in 19.
Oh, Schofield. He's tanky. Oh, not tanky enough.
No, he's doing the Hex. I mean, once you had the MKB and the Hex on Magical's...
That was the gem too, I think.
Was it? Oh, it was. Wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
It was their gem. That's pretty costly to lose that. He has the health town, of course, so that's what makes him that much tankier, but... Yeah. Now they lost the gem. So map control is still there for Na'Vi, as they're looking to claim some bounties. And our Brew, he keeps buying the tome. I think that's the second or third one I've seen him purchase for himself this game. Wanting to get to that level 25 ASAP. So he can constantly have his Brew split.
Or Magical. Okay.
Okay.
Just a quick poke at the tower, despite the fact that he still has the back door on. Just wanting to let Infamous know that he's here.
Na'Vi Smoke wanting to try to jump something here, but their lanes are kind of being pushed a little bit out. Bounty runes are waiting too. Bulldog, if he's here right now, he'd be real sad. 2 bounties, 39 seconds, and they see it. They see one. They're gonna go claim them though. And we do have that 40-minute mark kicking in too. So map control, as we always say, gets more important for those double runes.
Illusion.
What creep does I saw Seneko went for the Dominator? What creep does he have following around the? Just a hill troll.
Yeah, for that.
For that, nothing.
25 right click, mate. Wait, what's he got a heal troll?
I don't know. He had a he had a purge creep for a while running around, but now he's got a hill troll. Oh, the chrono gets him. Doesn't even need the head follow up.
Pepita doesn't have buyback. I don't know how much that matters though, because Pepita, no offense to him, but in this game he doesn't really offer much at this stage. He's just an Ember with Yules and Maelstrom.
No offense to him.
Like, well, you know what I mean.
I know.
He is pretty underfarmed.
Yeah.
Like, this Ember Spirit is not scary. So Infamous can still definitely defend without it. So we'll see their best attacks. But they need Whisper though. Whisper's been hexed. They'll try and force him away. Oh, he's dead though. He's got buyback. Buys back immediately. They get the overgrowth onto Tomato, but Tomato with the BKB focuses and takes down the Supernova. Jump forward from Moose. Gets the call to do. Tomato. He's carrying them hard. Can he carry them hard enough though? There's a job. They get the stun. Tomato's in trouble. He's dead. But he has buyback himself. They'll get back in, still with the Primal Split going. They're playing around with Na'Vi. See if they can catch another. They're chasing down Blizzy. Blizzy's got the living armor, but the stun connects. In they go. Call from Moose. Tomato's in with the damage. Blizzy will fall. They had to buy back on 2 cores, Infamous, but they do hold that top lane, forcing Na'Vi to retreat.
Costly buybacks though, for sure. Brewmaster was forced to, so is Tomato, so they can hold them back. And Na'Vi, they disengage pretty nicely. They don't lose their big core heroes, the Void or that Clinks, during that chase.
Oh, and they make them fortify as well.
Yep.
Magical with that bit of a ramp pressure.
They did recover a gem though, at least. I saw Schofield, he bought one before the fight too.
I mean, this Morphos with Tomato really is playing it perfectly. The way that he takes these fights,
yeah,
you know, just locking down onto the egg.
He has the tools, right? Like if he's not chronosphered, he should be able to get the hits off onto the egg because he has the BKB Manta, so he can remove all those disables that we talked about.
As you say, without the buyback, it's a whole lot harder for him to do those sort of plays because if he does get chronoed, he's not going to have that second chance. It's magical.
He just finished up his MKB. Doesn't have... Has to be careful here.
Choose with the backup, he can turn. The self-fuels will buy some time for the Ember. The stun is there from Schofield, but the heal from the Sunray. It's not enough.
Dead.
They've lost the clinks. Supernova is not going to save. Oh, the chrono. That's the kind of chrono that Na'Vi was looking for from Crystallize. Perfect setup to allow the Supernova to come off.
Oh, no.
That was exactly what they needed. Because that may have just done it and allowed Na'Vi to close up the game. Because with Tomato dead for 100 seconds, that is a huge amount of firepower from Infamous lost.
The perma bash is coming through. Also, Tomato was morphing Agi during it.
No, that was a big old redeemed if I ever did see one from Crystal.
Yeah,
you bring the chronos like that, the teammates are totally forgetting about earlier.
That's where Sineko goes. All right,
yeah,
you're okay. You're okay for this.
Yeah, we'll keep you on the team for another season.
Whisper.
Standing up, looking for Whisper. Whisper does have the primal if he feels too threatened. Will turn, try and get as much right clicks out as he can before. It's going to buy time for the buyback to come out for the Schofield, and now with the split, they're going to look to chase. Stuns out onto Blizzy. Blizzy being focused. Fire Spirit's being sent down to help him out, but he gets cooled, dragged back up to the high ground. Still has a stampede. The disables there though from Whisper on the primal split. He actually gets forced up. Blizzy with the Sunray and the Living Army is actually going to survive that onslaught, but instead Crystallize, he jumped in, and oh my goodness, he's back off the squad. Blizzy's dead as well. Crystallize.
Chu tipped him. His teammate tipped him.
Oh my goodness, just as he redeems himself, he goes and dies like this, and that's going to mean there's time for Tomato to come back into the game. And this game ain't over, folks. This one's still going.
Oh, look at this beauty.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Tomato even BKBs. Pepita's like, oh god, get me the hell out of there.
See, we're also seeing the exact discussion that's going out in Na'Vi at the moment. Now, Crystallize like, guys, remember when I did that chrono? Yeah, thank you. Before you start flaming me. Crystallize does have buyback.
He does.
He does have buyback. We'll
Has
see.
to be careful when his BKB,
I mean, but
his BKB was
up.
down to like 2 seconds.
If when Tomato's back up, they go straight to the Roche. Infamous have a very good shot at taking that Roche down before Na'Vi's back in the game.
Still a little bit of a threat, right?
But they take it so quickly.
They do kill it very quick.
With the morphling, and they can, you know, they could sort of, like, they could definitely go for it with the brew and the morph, but they'd have to go there straight away. And it looks like they're making a bit of a slow movement towards it. And Snake is scouting out top. Schofield. Oh, BKB popped by Magical. He's not messing around. sees an axe next to him, cannot risk being disabled. So pots the BKB, turns to him with a hex and gets the kill.
And that's 90 seconds, no axe. They need every single tool as possible.
Yeah, now they definitely can't do rush. No, not without the full 5-man. Giving away an axe kill as such. Papito's got the E on this, so again, just building to survive on this Ember. Relying on really Whisper and Tomato to do all the work in the team fights. As the magical level 25 being hit by Whisper now. He's got that reduced cooldown on the primal split.
Aghanim's on Blizzy 2 now to protect his teammates. Could see that Dispel creep come into play now. I think Seneko does have it following him around, or he did before, wherever it is. So he's going to be scouting stuff, but he can also Dispel Aeon Disc with that creep. It's got to be really, really difficult.
That is true.
He could do so. Clink's also, lots of 25s coming into play. So backtrack, strafe duration. Na'Vi getting that much more potent.
Yeah, Na'Vi can go for this one with ease.
Yeah, and then this is the third rush, so we were talking about them having overbearing team fight, throwing a refresher shard. Now they've got so many ways to protect that egg. Blizzy gets the jump forward, Peta.
Oh, he tried to go in for the jump, but the Houston was there. Oh! He does get out.
Aeon Disc, yep, saving him. Doesn't dispel the hex, but he has time to get out. Blizzy even force-staffed Pepita in.
He did, he stomped and Houston. Yeah, it was a nice play from Blizzy, yeah. But yeah, not quite enough follow-up to keep that Ember Spirit held down.
We give it to the Phoenix.
Yeah. Make sure he's going to have that Supernova for the push, because as he did use it by that Roche pit. And they still have the Chrono, Stampede and Overgrowth ready. So they can push immediately with this Aegis and Cheese.
No buyback on Tomato if he gets jumped. Has to be so
careful. Actually smoking. To try and start something here. BKB is going to be used by Magical as he holds his ground. They get the axe. Tomato. There we go, Crystallize. He's got the Chrono that they needed. Tomato's held down. And they found Schofield as well. And that Chrono will mean that this game is going to end in smiles from all of Na'Vi, including Crystallize, as they're 3 dead without buyback. Na'Vi pushing on. A little bit of a rockier game than game 1, but it gets the job done.
Give him the rampage now.
Give him.
Crystallize wants it.
Come on, Pepita.
He's in.
Why you got to do this, Pepita? Oh, come on.
He's got a cheese.
Give it to him.
Going for it.
Give it to him. He really doesn't want to give it to him. Oh, Pepita. Come on.
But they get the win.
They get the win. Na'Vi, they're moving on. 2-0 here against Infamous. And unfortunately for Infamous, the end of the road here at the Minor. As Infamous, I think we can all agree, they had some great showings here, some fantastic series, some really good wins.
Yeah.
And even in that one, you know, Tomato showing us that when he is on those carry heroes, he can do so much, but it wasn't enough. As Pepita and Whisper just not quite as far ahead as they needed to be to offer as much in those fights. The Ember Spirit